Okay, in multiplication of fraction, the game changes, whereby we multiply the numerator and multiply the denominators. We multiply the numerators and then multiply the denominators differently. So A over B times C over D, this is times, is that clear? Times C over D equal to A over B here. I said multiply numerator. Okay, see, multiply numerator times numerator all over denominator times denominator. So you see the difference between additions and subtraction then and multiplication. You see the difference. So this one now follows a different pattern. So in this case now we multiply numerator times numerator. You have A times C. A times C, which will give you AC, all over B times D. B times D. You see? You can see. You can see. You can see. So that B times D will give you BD. Is that clear? So that in a case whereby you have example 1, you have 1 over 2 times 1 over 3. What do you have? It is equal to 1 times 1, which is 1, all over 2 times 3, which is what? Which is 6. And the answer becomes 1 over 6. That is it. Okay, guys, let's quickly look, because fraction is very simple, but then we shall go deep into it in our next class. So let me just quickly summarize this these methods of solving fractions. Okay, addition of fraction, a division of fraction. Division of fraction. Division of fraction. Okay. Division of fraction follows the pattern of multiplication. So now, let's look at this, that A over B divided by C over D. Solution to this problem, you will see that A over B divided by C over D. You can see this bold division, showing that it is the general division line that now separates this as an entity. This is a fraction and this is another fraction. So this general division separates them now. So in this case now, since we have already had this two fractions, fraction down, fraction up, then what we'll do is let this come up. Let this come up to multiply this fraction, and let this come down. Let this come down, let this come down also. Look at it. Just look at me very well. Follow my pattern and you will get it right. It is equal to A over B, which is the first fraction on top. The first fraction, A over B. This big line here represents this divide. Please just try to understand me. So that if you write A over B first, that's the first thing to do. you say times, introduce multiplication, times, instead of division again, instead of divide again, introduce multiplication, times this d that is at the bottom here in this second fraction will be at the top. You write d all over c. The c on top of d will become, that is in the second fraction, the first fraction is always the same. I said in division method, the first fraction is always the same. But the second fraction, which is the divisor, is always interchanged. I said the denominator in the second fraction is always interchanged with the numerator. That is the secret. Is that understood? You see, times a over b is the first fraction and it remains a over b. But in the second fraction, which is c over d, I said it will be interchanged. Do you see the d at the bottom here, the denominator, is now going up to become the numerator here. When I introduce multiplications, times, now is no more divide, is now times. I'm now introducing, because multiplication is opposite of division. I'm now introducing this in now, that the denominator will go up and become the numerator, whereas the numerator will come down to be the denominator. And that is the secret behind it. So that we'll have equal to a, since it has become like this now, multiplication, you can now use the normal multiplication method, which is a times d, which is now ad, which is now ad divided by all over, that is all over b times c, which is now bc. So you see, the whole thing now is ad all over bc. Example 1. So example 1, let's see this problem. 2 over 3 divided by 4 over 5. Here we have our solution. Our solution will go like this. Okay, this is 4 over 5. So our solution will go like this. We'll say it is 2 over 3 divided by, divided by 4 over 5 is equal to, you have the first fraction. Remember what I told you, that the first fraction is always the same. You repeat the first fraction, don't change anything. Just write 2 all over 3, which is this first fraction here. This first fraction here, this 2 over 3, you can see it. You write 2 over 3, then, which is always the same. Then introduce multiplication sign instead of that division. And then interchange in the second fraction. In the second fraction, you interchange the numerator with the denominator. Is that clear now? So that the position of the numerator will become the position of denominator, while the denominator becomes the position of a numerator. Is that clear? So now, here we have times 5, this denominator in the second fraction, on top now, becoming numerator, all over 4, which was initially the numerator when we were using division sign. We have all over 4. And this will give you equal to. Now, because it has become multiplication, then what we'll have here is the numerator will multiply numerator and the denominator will multiply denominator, which we said when we were doing multiplication of fraction. Is that clear? So now we have 2 times 5, which will give you 10, all over 3 times 4, which will give you 12. And this is equal to, because this 10, the numerator and the denominator still have common factor, you can still divide them further to simplify the fraction. Now, what do? Watch out to this 10. What does 10 have that 12 has also? So now, what 10 has that 12 also has is 1, 2, 1, 2, nothing else. So it's just 1 and 2. So in this case now we use 2. We use what? 2. So that when 2 divides 10, we'll have 5. And when 2 divides 12, we'll have 6. Then everything now becomes 5 over 6. And this becomes your answer in this kind of question. So guys, thank you for listening. Thank you. Next time we'll continue with other problems involving fraction. We'll go deep so that you'll be able to tackle any problem that you see in fraction. Thank you so much. Bye.